starting with Marianne. Marianne, in the Academic Center of Excellence, what is the difference between Ilearn, Brightspace, and D2L?
Good question. They're all the same thing, essentially. So D2L is the parent company that makes a product, a software called Brightspace. And at Canadore, we've taken that product and we've called it Ilearn. So you may hear your instructors call your online learning environment Ilearn. They're probably going to call it D2L. They might call it Brightspace. All the same, one thing.
Oh, awesome. That's great. When am I able to log into Ilearn as a student?
If you are an existing student, you can log into Ilearn at any time. Your account's been created and you simply use your student ID and your password to log in. If you are a new student, first you'll have to complete your online registration. So that means going into your self-service account, selecting your courses for the semester. Once that happens successfully, within 6 or 8 hours, your Ilearn account is created and then you can log in. If you're receiving a message saying you can't log in or your password is wrong, likely you just haven't waited long enough or your online registration hasn't been completed successfully. Check some of those steps again and try again in a few hours.
Awesome. When will my classes become available on Ilearn?
Your upcoming semester classes will be available on the first day of the semester. As a full-time student, generally your block of courses will all open up in Ilearn on, in this case, September 6th, Tuesday, September 6th. Starting at midnight, you should have access to your classes.
Awesome. Do I need to use Ilearn or is attending classes in person enough?
You need to use Ilearn. So you may be attending classes live, in class with your instructor, with your peers, PowerPoints, lessons up in the front of the class, but your instructor is going to provide you grades and feedback, as well as provide lesson material, content, possibly assignment instructions, and all these things will be posted in your Ilearn course shells. Also things like attendance. It's important to stay up to date with everything that's in your online learning environment as well.
Awesome. And I understand there is a Pulse app. So is that app useful?
Highly recommended. Go to your app store, download the Pulse app, search D2L Pulse, Pulse Brightspace, anything like that. It allows you to have all of your notifications, all of your important course information, all available on your fingertips on your device. You can receive your notifications there, and it is in fact the most reliable way to receive notifications. Far more reliable than text messages or emails. And you can even access through the app. You're already logged in. You can access the full online learning environment from your device as well. I highly recommend.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So that is the end of the questions. But Marianne, I remember you mentioning just a few moments ago that there was a video. Is there any way we could put that in the chat for people to access?
The video is available. The login page is right there. The very first item on the login page is, hey, have a look at the video. So before you even actually log in, I recommend you start at the top of the page. And I think I'm going to share my screen and go through some of these things. Watch the video, check and make sure that your system will run the software. It's all online and on the internet. So as long as you have a half decent connection to the internet, you should be able to watch the video, access the system, etc.
Awesome. And I see Trish just posted it into the chat. So for everybody that's on this call, that is where you can access that. So obviously, as Marianne's saying, highly recommended. Watch the video. It's a 2.5, I think you said, minute video.
Yeah,
so
just over 2 minutes. Yep.
Well worth the investment.
Yes.
So now we're going to go to IT. And so we've got a couple people from IT here. We've got Billy and we have Emerson. So whoever wants to answer the questions as I ask them, feel free to speak up. So the first question we have is, do I need to have a laptop for my classes?
All depends on the class. It is advisable to have a laptop, but we do also have labs at all the campuses, the 3 in North Bay and also in Prairie Sound. We do have open access labs. So if you do not have a laptop, you do have access to a computer still for printing and so on, and the assignments you need to do. But a lot of times in your package, you'll be more or less notified if you need a laptop or not for your particular course.
Awesome. Yeah, so the second question we have is, what type of laptop should I get? Do I need to use what's listed on the BYOD requirement guide, or am I able to, in a case of where it says that you need a PC, can I use a Mac and vice versa?
The one in the recommendation is the one in the BYOD requirement guide. We do recommend those ones. A lot of time, this is kind of a difficult question because sometimes the Mac will run the software, sometimes it won't. So what you need to do, you need to make sure that if you want to use a Mac, you got to make sure that the software required for your course will operate on a Mac. If it does, then you're probably good to get away with using a Mac. But again, it comes back to the software requirements. If you're able to get a Mac version of it, then yes, you'd be okay to use a Mac. But if they're not available, you'll have to go with a PC.
Yeah, makes
Windows
sense.
PC.
What happens if my laptop breaks down?
Yeah, you can come to the service desk now. Unfortunately, due to liability, so on, we really can't work on your laptop. We can't do any like warranty work or open it up or anything. But you can definitely come if you are having computer issues with your device, laptop. You can come to the service desk. You can get advice from them. They may know like service centers where you can take it to within North Bay to get it worked on. But unfortunately, we cannot actually work on your laptop. We can't do any work for you, unfortunately, but we can give you advice and direction as to what you can do.
Awesome. Thank you. Should we have antivirus software on our devices? And if so, what software do you recommend?
Yes, highly recommended. Obviously, and I'm sure everybody's seen malware protection is also highly recommended. Antivirus, because the college, you are sharing a network, like within the college, it's a wide open network. We do highly recommend antivirus software and also anti-malware software.
Awesome. Do Canadore students get free access to Office 365? And if so, how can we access it?
I can answer this if you'd like.
Sure.
Students who are attending at Canadore College each receive a CanadoreStudents.ca email address. With this email address, we do provide our students with Office 365, which gives them access to the suite of applications available: Word, PowerPoint, Teams, OneDrive. And while the student is attending at Canadore College, they will have access to these applications. Not only can they access these programs on the web, no matter what computer they're on, as long as they have an internet connection, they're also welcome to download and install it on their personal computers during that time. If a student ever has any problems with trying to log into their Office 365 credentials or having an issue, they're always welcome to contact the service desk at servicedesk@canadorecollege.ca and service.desk at canadorecollege.ca, and we can assist them with that.
Awesome. Thank you for that. Are we able to print on campus as students?
Yes, so we have a couple on-campus labs, many located in our D wing from D237, D238 to D234. And we have some located at our other campuses at Commerce Court, which I believe is E204 and W156. And we have a lab at our aviation campus in Y204. Those campuses have printers and computers that are available for the students to log in. They can use their same Canadore College email address to log into those computers so that they can access printers and any other resources available in those labs.
Awesome. Thanks.
Just to add to that, sorry. Yes, printing is available, but not from their own devices. They will need to log into a lab computer to print.
Yes.
You won't be able to print from your own laptop device. So.
Perfect. Thanks for that clarification. So when should students be contacting the IT department, and which is the best way to contact the IT department?
Okay, so the IT department has a service desk that is physically available at our location at the College Drive campus in D228. You can also reach us at service.desk@canadorecollege.ca, or you can give us a call at the Canadore College number 705-474-7600, and our extension is 5800. Should somebody need assistance, we can assist them with the following. if they need access to their Canadore students' email, we can help them with any troubleshooting regarding that. If a student is having trouble logging into the self-service or TouchNet portals, we can assist with password resets and problems with logins. Should a student have issues logging into the Harris Library or any of its associated resources, we can assist them with that as well. In addition, if a student is in one of our computer labs and is having problems with one of the computers or a printer in those labs, they're welcome to call us, email us, or drop by the office, and we can assist them with those problems as well.
Awesome. The next question is, do students need to have a printer on campus?
Since we have printers available in our on-campus labs, the students will have access to those during campus hours. Should a student want to have a personal printer at their home or their lab, they're of course welcome to do that. But we do have public resources that are available to the students while they're attending and while the campus is open.
Awesome. And finally, the last question for Billy and Emerson. What is my Canadore email address? So you've already kind of alluded to that, but do I need to use that email, or can I still use my personal email?
Of course. So many students register with their personal emails. The Canadore student email address that we provide them is mostly for them to access Office 365. Now, in many cases, students will use those emails to communicate with their professors, to keep in touch with fellow students as they're working on projects. That email is great for that kind of communication, because as a Office 365 account, you can share files over OneDrive, allowing collaboration to be a lot easier for projects. But in terms of using the account all the time, it is only required to be used for accessing the computer labs here in the buildings, being able to access Office 365 and its associated programs, or being able to access the library. So for those three things, you are required to use your Canadore students' email, but for everything else, you are welcome to use your personal email address. One thing that I do want to advise students is that since this email address is provided to students while they are attending Canadore, when they do graduate or leave Canadore, the email address will disappear after a certain period of time. So any important things that you may register with that email address, I would suggest that you register with a personal email address so you do not lose access to that resource or book or online thing that you've registered for.
Awesome. Thanks, Emerson. Marianne, you raised your hand, so I'm assuming you've got something to add. Yeah.
I just wanted to add some context for email addresses with respect to using Ilearn. And so Ilearn will have an email address associated with each student account, but only one. So if you are deciding to use your college issued email address, you may need to go into your self-service account to set that one as the preferred email. Your self-service account is the application that controls what is your preferred method of contact or preferred email address. Whichever you set as preferred will be the one that is imported into Ilearn and will show up sort of as a contact for you to your instructors, to other students within that software system itself. So pick one, know which one you're using, and that way when you're receiving notifications, if you elect to receive notifications by email or somebody's trying to contact you from within the course, that's where that communication will go to that preferred email address.
Awesome. Thanks, Marianne. So that is the end of all of our IT related questions. So we're going to move on. We just have one question for Trish, which is regarding iSucceed. So Trish, what is iSucceed?
Thanks, Daryl. And this is a question that we haven't actually been asked before because nobody knows really what iSucceed is. So this is kind of everyone who's on the call is your sneak peek into a new student engagement system that is going to be launching in September. And Emerson did mention all the different kind of ways you can use your Canadore email address. And iSucceed is another kind of resource you'll have at your fingertips. So once you're logged in to Office 365 or Microsoft 365 using your Canadore email address, you're going to have access to the iSucceed platform. So I'm going to share my screen and I'm just going to show you kind of what it looks like at a glance. It's not live yet, but it will be going live that first week of classes. And essentially it is a place where you can connect with some of our support staff. So when we launch in September, it's going to be the student success and experience division that is going to be using it mostly. And you'll be able to connect with certain staff members. You can book appointments to meet with them one-on-one. You can also sign up for any events or workshops that are being hosted. And we're also working on developing a really robust resource section for students that you can go and kind of, if you're looking for support in certain areas, you can search it. But I will share my screen so you can see exactly what I'm talking about and give you a little overview of what it looks like. So there will be a login. Are you able to see?
Yep, we
Okay.
can see it. Yeah.
Perfect. Scroll down a little bit. So this is what you'll see once the link appears on the Canadore website. So this is the landing page, and it will link out. I'll highlight the 5 main areas that we'll talk about. So the first one, the getting started page. This is for if you're not quite sure where to start. You're having a little bit of issues. You're not quite sure who to talk to, what to do. You can click on the getting started page and it will take you to 3 different options you have. The one is you can book an appointment directly with one of our support staff, just a quick little 20 to 30 minute touch base. You can let them know what your concerns are, and they'll either be able to help you immediately or they'll be able to connect you directly with a staff member that is that area expert, and they'll be able to get you in. It also links out to the Canadore orientation page. If you click on that, so all of these sessions that we've recorded, plus links to all of the chat summaries, you'll have those available. And then the last link out is ask a question. So if you're really not sure, you don't know if you want to actually meet an appointment, you can click the ask about a question button. So I'll show you what happens when you click the getting started appointments. So right now we only have the setting up for success. So it's a quick 20-30 minute appointment. Not sure you need help, but you're not sure where to start. You'll click on that and then it'll let you know what the appointments are available. And these ones are all kind of fake ones that we've set up, and they're all with me. But we do have other staff that will be in monitoring those sessions. You click on it, and both of them, they're either going to be available. We could do them in person at one of the 3 campuses, so College Drive, Commerce Court, or Aviation. And then also we have the virtual option, so we can connect through Teams. So the other area we'll look is, so those are the getting started. You're not sure where to start, you can go right there. If you're a little bit more familiar with the system, or if you've met with some of our staff already and you want to book a direct appointment with them, you can click directly on the appointment link and it'll show you the different appointments that we're going to have currently in here. So you can meet with our Access and Inclusion Coordinator, you can meet with our International Transition, Retention and Support Coordinator, you can get some learning supports, there's mental health and well-being supports, and then also again, if you're not quite sure, you can do that setting up for success. All the appointments we have are offered through this link here, and again, it'll take you to the calendar, it'll let you know what days are available and what appointments are available, and then you can go ahead and book them here. So see what we got. So, and then for the ones that are in person, it'll let you know where that person's going to be, if they're going to be at the Commerce Court campus, at that Aviation campus. So if you're a College Drive student and you want to meet on the 31st, but there is no College Drive appointments available, you can select the Commerce Court or the Aviation appointments as well, and either go down to the campus or select when you book it a virtual option instead. So you could do it face-to-face or you can do it in Zoom. Once you book all these appointments, it will send an email confirmation to you, letting you know that the appointment's been booked. And it'll send you the reminders links. And this all goes to whatever email you have set up as your preferred email in self-service. So you need to be logged into Microsoft or Office 365 using your Canadore emails, but if your preferred email is your personal, all those reminders and all those notices will go to that. So this is not live yet, but we will have the link up on our Student Success website in September, first week back.
Awesome. Well, thank you,
So I'm
Trish.
giving everyone a sneak peek at what
Yeah,
is in store.
that does look awesome. That's fantastic. It's a great way to be able to get an appointment right online at a really easy and quick way. So that's awesome. So right now we only have one, which is from Manesh, and it's when can we expect a bus pass? That'll be on your student card, Manesh. So once you've got your student card, the bus pass is on it, and you would be able to take the bus. So that's a quick and easy one. Kind of a note here for everybody that's on the call. If you have questions, please enter them now. Just be aware that because we're doing a tech talk session, we can only answer tech related questions. So if it's an admissions related question, if it's a residence related question, we are not people that work in those offices, so we can't answer those. So just as a heads up. But if you do have any other questions, please feel free to go into the Q&A and enter them now. Oh, no problem.
Do you mind if I add something to that?
Sure.
I had seen a question earlier. I had answered it via text, but I would like to repeat it. We had an anonymous attendee ask, how can I access my Canadore College email address? Which is probably pretty important, and I missed it. So I wanted to make sure that everybody else heard this as well. So on our Canadore College website, we do have a page for Microsoft 365. You can navigate to the Canadore College website, type in 365 in our little search bar up at the top, and it will bring you to a page that has our Microsoft guide for 2022. In this guide, it follows the steps for you to obtain what your email address actually is, as well as how to log into Office 365 and how to install it on your machine. If you have any problems, you're always welcome to email or call the service desk or even drop by and we'll help you out. And in the answers to questions, I have provided a link to that page as well, should you need it.
Awesome. Thanks, Emerson.
No problem.
So we still don't have any other questions right now. We'll give it a few minutes. If we don't get any more, we can always end the session. And we do have some final reminders, so we won't just be ending it. Be sure to stay on till the end of our call.
And just wanted to jump in because I know we do have people here. It's mostly our ACE, our IT division, but our registration has gone live. I know when we started our tech talks, or not our tech talks, our table talk sessions, it wasn't live yet, but as of August 23rd, registration has opened. It is a staggered registration, so programs are opening over the next few days. But if you do have any questions, if you're having any issues accessing or logging in, registering for your courses, any issues, admissions is available right now with Zoom drop-in support. So you will have received an email that lets you know what time and what date your registration opens, but there is also the Zoom drop-in support, and I'm going to put the link in the chat now. So if after this call, your registration's open and you're having issues, you can go to that Zoom session. There is admission staff available, ready to help you. And it's great. You can get a one-on-one meeting with an admission staff. And if it's, if you're having something you're getting error messages on your self-service, you can even do a screen share so that it can actually see what the issue is and kind of help problem solve in real time.
That's awesome. Thank you, Trish, for mentioning that. And Evan, I did notice you just posted a question about where you're supposed to register for classes. So follow that link. I'm going to basically take your question off because that link will be provided in the chat. But we do have other questions. So we've got a question about unable to find the BYOD link for mobile application development. Maybe I'm wrong, but I believe the BYOD is all on the program pages as well. So that might be a spot to check if it's not in that BYOD link. But certainly if anybody on the call has a better or more thorough answer, please feel free to add to what I just mentioned. No? Okay. We do have another question from Marianne. Would using basic Google Docs, slides, Meet, etc. work the same as Microsoft Office? I'm not sure if anybody wants to answer that, but my quick answer would be Microsoft Office is free for you as a student, so it probably works much better to just go ahead and use Microsoft Office. The only reason is Google Docs can sometimes have a bit of a interrupted kind of ability to move to Microsoft Office at times. So sometimes it works better to just go ahead with Microsoft Office. But Marianne, you brought your hand is up.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that, again, if you're talking about doing your schoolwork, creating your PowerPoints or your documents, you're uploading them to your online learning environment to Ilearn. So long as they are meeting the requirements of your instructor. So not everybody has software to see all types of document formats. So for example, if you are an iOS user, a Mac user, and you're submitting things as a .pages file extension, your instructor may have trouble accessing that. So I don't see any problem if you are very, very used to using Google Docs, so long as you're saving it as a Word document or a Microsoft compatible document, your instructors will be able to access that and you should be okay. But again, if you can use the more robust tools that Office 365 provides, then why not explore that as well?
Awesome. Yeah, thank you, Marianne. That looks as though we don't have any further questions. So again, I call out to the students, future students who are going to be joining us in a couple weeks' time. If you have questions, please enter them into the Q&A.
If we have time, Daryl, if we have time, is it possible that I can share my screen and just show the students that are with us today, just the website, where to find the link for Ilearn, and just sort of quickly walk them through that logging in piece?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead anytime.
And then if we get some more questions in the meantime, then we can answer them as soon as we are done. So I think I am going to share my screen over here. Everybody can see my Canadore website here. So as a student, if you're looking to find your online classroom environment, so Ilearn by D2L, if you're not sure where to go for the first time, if you go to, I believe it's support, no, maybe it's not. Oh yeah, it is student resources. From the student resources page here, you'll find a lot of links and resources that'll be useful to you as a student, one of which is the link to Ilearn. So here's a link to Office 365 as well, you'll find there. And if you scroll down, there's a bunch of sort of admissions, online forms, other important documents. And it's changed since I saw it last, but there should be, oh, right here, right at the top of the Canadore sites and links, you'll find a link to Ilearn. So if you click that, it'll bring you to your Ilearn login page. And if you remember from earlier, I mentioned that there's a video linked here. So here is your Ilearn orientation video, that 2.5-minute video that walks you through logging in on this page and a bit of navigating the environment once you're in. Please have a look at that. I'll do some of this right now, but also remember to run a system check if you're having issues with running the website. Some reminders about how to log in as a brand new user or as an existing user if you've ever been here before as a student in the past. And over here, if you're having trouble, you can try resetting your password using your student number or accessing the new student or existing student checklist to see where you might have missed a step and where that might help you to log in. So once you are good to go here, log in using your student number, and it should be your date of birth at the outset, a 6-digit date of birth in the format day, month, year, year, the last 2 numbers of your year of birth. And then once you're in, you'll find the main homepage. Main homepage navbar has an access to the Canadore calendar. It has access to some academic support links. If I click that, it will open up this sort of student support buttons area where you can find things like important dates and deadlines, student concerns process, academic awards, credit transfer, even Canadore social media links. And that might be helpful to help you navigate to some of those items quickly. The tech support link is another helpful site where you will find information and help on all of those commonly used technology pieces. So there's Ilearn help up here, and whatever page you're on, you'll always have those buttons to help you navigate down the left side. So there's access to your Pulse app. Ilearn help provides videos and PDF assistance and instructions on using all of the various tools in Ilearn. There's also D2L's created videos and help site for their product. And then down here, you'll see Office 365, Teams, Zoom, Echo 360, which you'll probably interact with minimally unless your student or your instructor is posting a lot of videos onto Echo. You'll still probably just be able to access those directly from within your class. And then, of course, there's a link to self-service, some online learning help, and the login guide. So login guide may also be very useful for you with respect to logging into some of those common technology or websites. So self-service, Ilearn, network computers, among other things. If I go back to our homepage, you'll also find some of those links within the quick link dropdown as well. One last thing I want to show you here is if I go into a course, the course navbar has some of the same help, but you'll also find your course content here under the content, your attendance, if it's available here under attendance, your grade book here under evaluation, your online class activities here, so drop boxes, quizzes, discussions, etc. under the activities menu. And under communication, you may have discussions here, your class calendar and your class list is available. The tech support site is also available from here as well. So remember to check your course calendar over here on the right-hand side for your courses. Check on your course news here in the news field. And to get back to the main homepage, you can click your Canadore logo up at the top and make sure to stay in touch with the news and/or calendar items here as well. News is here, anything important, upcoming semester news items, etc., or college-wide important messaging as well will be found here. And then your courses are all pinned over here on the left side. If you don't see your courses pinned there, you can come up here to the course finder widget. Generally, if you're a new student, you won't have a search bar. They'll just appear down below here, and click on the push pin icon in order to make sure that they are then attached to your main homepage. Are there any questions on that?
I don't think so. Thank you for walking us through that. That was great.
And that orientation video does a lot of exactly what I just showed you. So if you want to see it again or you missed something as I walked through it, view that orientation video. It will show you everything.
Awesome. Thank you very much for going through that again. Once again, it appears as though we don't have any questions right now in the system. So if there is anybody that has any, please feel free to enter that into the Q&A. And if we don't get any, we'll be able to give final reminders.